Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So overnight, the crypto market saw a dip. Bitcoin right now trading at 91.36, down 3.3%. Ethereum trading at 224, down 5.11%. And XRP trading at 1.86 cents, down 2.97%. Guys, you can see a sea of red here, and look at the trends. Everything moving further down, making new lows. We'll get to the chart in a second. And the market cap losing roughly, what was it, about 8 billion? Right now, the entire market cap for the crypto market is 258.2 billion. Bitcoin dominance still holding at around 65%. And so I saw this article, Bitcoin price dips below 9,000 amid heavy stock market futures loss. So bearish moves for stocks appear to be in line with rumors of an incoming crash, with Bitcoin hitting its lowest levels in almost 3 weeks. So yes, last night Bitcoin did actually dip below 9,000, and now we're seeing it over 9,000, but for how much longer? Bitcoin dropped below 9,000 on June 15th as a new week produced fresh selling pressure across macro assets. Bitcoin price tests $9,000 resilience. Data from Cointelegraph Markets and CoinMarketCap showed BTC/USD entering the $8,000 range in Monday's trading for the first time since May 28th. The latest bearish move follows a difficult week for Bitcoin, in which markets almost regained 10,000 before shedding $800 in a matter of hours on Thursday, after spending the weekend at around 9,400. Support gave way once more as the outlook for the week on stock markets looked bleak. So they're saying that this could be because of the stock markets, and they are assuming that the crypto market is aligning now more closely with traditional stock markets. So stock wobble ahead of predicted crash. On Sunday, Dow Jones futures fell 900 points, with United States markets similarly uncertain prior to opening. As Cointelegraph reported, Bitcoin has become increasingly resilient to the impact from stocks gaining or losing dramatically, a process which has been known as decoupling. Nonetheless, hints of correlation remains, with Bitcoin now at its lowest in over 2 weeks. Last week came a warning that traditional markets were due for a crash-style correction within the next 3 weeks. Okay, so Bitcoin here on the hourly, guys, and you can see new lows being formed. This is important because if you still have money on the side, you should think about where you're getting into a new position. This kind of trend never looks good to me. Whenever I see the sharp move down, which we saw a couple of days ago on Thursday, and then that rebound, and then that curvature, you know, at this point here, in and around this point here, I was already saying, yeah, this is not going to rebound back up to 10,000. Chances are we are going to make lower lows, and it's because there just isn't enough buying pressure. You could see it from here, making lower lows, and then not really ever making it up past here. Once we saw this come back, this come back, this come back, it was really game over, and now we are seeing lower lows. And guys, you can see the same thing in XRP as well, lower lows here. XRP trading at 0.184 currently. And VET, yeah, VET. So VET also made an intra-year high despite the crash of the rest of the market back on June 11th. And now VET trading at about 0.0081 cents. So even overnight, VET made a low of 0.0075 cents. I have a buy order here at 0.0068 cents. Coming down in around this zone, but I'm going to keep an eye on the rest of the market, because if we go further down, I mean, I might have to change that up a little. But I'm feeling fairly confident. I have already predicted this in the past, that we are going to see a correction and that Bitcoin will eventually move up. I was thinking, I'll put it here on the daily, I was thinking originally that we could see potentially 7,100 roughly down and around here. That would make for a fairly healthy correction. So what are we going to see, guys? It's anybody's guess. Let's just keep an eye on it. Keep moving forward. Bitcoin did go below 9,000 last night. Its lowest 8,900, now rebounding at 9,110. But we've got great XRP news, and sometimes that's what we need to cheer us up. The pound sterling GBP is now live on Ripple's ODL and more currencies will follow. So this from XRP Arcade Leonidas, discussing this new milestone for Ripple's ODL product. He talks a little bit about the partnerships that Ripple has and some of the other ODL corridors that are open. So the United States is using Bittrex, Bitso for the Mexican peso, Bitstamp for the euro and the United States dollar, Coins.ph for the Philippine peso, and BTC Markets for the Australian corridor. Slowly but steadily, volume started to flow between these exchanges, and solutions like UtilityScan began monitoring these ODL trades. But now, guys, British pound sterling. It was a few weeks ago that Ripple ODL partner exchange Bitstamp added GBP trading to its platform, with Bitstamp already being used for USD and Euro. It was only a matter of time before it could be used for GBP. As soon as UtilityScan began picking up on GBP ODL volume, the XRP community was quick to do some digging to find out which company was using it. It was Murad Toumi, UtilityScan's founder, that revealed that Azimo, an online international money transfer company, was the one using ODL in the GBP-PHP corridor. So the Azimo team, they were the ones. GBP ODL now online, now live. Great to see that. And guys, when we are cryptonaires, when we decide to cash out of our cryptocurrency holdings, there's that one looming question: we are all going to have to pay taxes. So what's our best option there? Well, Martin Volk here on Twitter posted this article. So are we all moving to Portugal after the next bull market? Might have to seriously consider it. This article from Forbes: Portugal tax authorities clarify that buying or selling cryptocurrency is tax-free. Okay. The United States may be taking a hard line on cryptocurrency, but not all countries are seeking to collect from the virtual currency boom. The Portuguese Tax and Customs Authority has announced that buying or selling cryptocurrency in Portugal is tax-free. The announcement came at the same time that the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, has announced a crackdown on cryptocurrency. However, Portugal has taken the opposite track. It made clear that buying or selling cryptocurrencies would not be subject to capital gains taxes or value-added tax. The PTA previously clarified in 2016, downloads in Portuguese as a PDF, that buying or selling cryptocurrency in Portugal would not be considered a taxable event, which means that it's not subject to tax. They are spelling it out very, very clearly. If you want to cash out in Portugal, you do not have to pay taxes. I'm sure there are some implications with that. Okay, so here are the exceptions. The receipt of cryptocurrency in exchange for goods and services doesn't change the tax treatment of the original transaction, and taxpayers who deal in cryptocurrency as a professional or business actively are still subject to some taxes. So if you're just an everyday dude or gal and you are trading in cryptocurrency not as a business, then you do not have to pay tax, as it seems. A VAT is similar to sales tax, but not quite the same thing. A sales tax is a tax typically, and it goes on into what the types of taxes are. Guys, I'll leave this article in the description. That is a very, very interesting proposition. Oh, and I didn't even realize this isn't even new information, although that's new to me. So the Agent Smith V3 says, if you're American, you'll need to surrender citizenship or you'll still owe taxes to Uncle Sam. So very, very important to note that. Black Sheep seen somewhere that if you're in Ireland and don't touch your earnings for 12 months, you don't need to pay capital gains tax. Any truth to that? Martin Volk, who is indeed from Ireland, from what I understand, says, for as far as I'm aware, the first 1,270 euros of gains are tax-free and 33% capital gains tax is paid over the rest of it. Never heard of the 12-month rule and don't believe it to be true either. So a few people chiming in here, and of course every country is going to be different. And of course immigration is different for every country. So, you know, to become a citizen of Portugal, if you live in certain countries, you are still able to retain your citizenship and maybe not have to pay tax in your home country. But like the Agent Smith V3 says here on Twitter, if you are American, you must surrender your citizenship. Otherwise, you are still paying taxes to the American government. So very, very interesting. Thanks so much, Martin, for posting that. I think that this is going to be one of those topics that gets on a lot of our minds, especially when we see this market start pumping higher and higher past 20,000 per BTC and beyond. We are going to need to have a plan, guys. We are going to need to have something in place. You can keep your cryptocurrency on the exchange and you can use, I don't know, maybe a BitPay credit card to spend some of it, and maybe that's kind of a way to mitigate some of your losses. But, you know, if you've made millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in crypto, you are not going to be able to thwart the IRS. Nor am I suggesting that you do not pay your taxes. You must pay your taxes. It is important to do so. Although if there are any legal options that could get you to pay less taxes, I'm all for that. Sometimes people ask me tax questions on here, and what I tell them is to ask a certified accountant about that, because your particular situation is going to be different than mine. It's just going to be different than Martin's. It's going to be different for everybody. So again, thanks so much, Martin, for posting that. This next one here from Crypto Wolf, at XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. China's biggest banks like China Merchants Bank, Bank of China, Agricultural Bank of China, China Construction Bank, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, and Alipay confirm that cryptocurrency bank accounts will not be frozen as long as they are legal. So more here coming out of China, and it's important to keep tabs on China to see where they're going with all this. So apparently the Chinese government were suggesting that they were going to shut down illegal cryptocurrency accounts, but major banks have now said, according to the report, all those banks that I had mentioned earlier said that as long as the operation is legal, the channel is legal, the virtual currency source is legal, and if the web page also supports the bank card service, the bank will not actively freeze the user's funds, unless there is any involvement of money laundering and fraud and other illegal related cases. So the investigation found out that over-the-counter transactions that support Alipay, WeChat, and major banks' credit card accounts show no risk warning reminder when operating transactions. Alipay Management Fund Security Department personnel commented that as long as there is Alipay payment page and must be legal operation, it will not involve funds freeze, account freeze, and other issues. So obviously this report poorly translated to English. Nevertheless, I think we get the point here. China really wanting to make cryptocurrency adoption thrive in their country, but it's a fine line. It's straddling a fine line, and I have a feeling that this is where the United States is also having problems. Let me explain. They don't want to necessarily say, okay, cryptocurrency is free for all to do whatever you want to do with it. They want to be able to pull back the reins in some cases if they notice that some people are using cryptocurrency in an illegal way. So it's quite difficult because, you know, the whole idea of cryptocurrency when it was originally created was this idea of a free flow of money. And, you know, no central authority, no central body saying you can use it for this and not for this. And that's why Bitcoin thrived back in the early days. And now, because of cryptocurrency, you know, regulation and more adoption as we're seeing come to pass in different countries, now we're seeing more and more of these important countries that have economies to protect. You know, we're seeing more and more of them kind of befuddled when it comes to cryptocurrency regulation and regulatory clarity. And again, guys, I honestly do feel like this is why the US is taking so long with this, because they want to get it right, and getting it right will be the key for a robust cryptocurrency rollout. And for cryptocurrencies like VeChain, let's say, and XRP, to really kind of maximize their potential in the world. So we're hodling for the long term, and it's going to be a matter of time, but it's good to see that countries are being reasonable and that they're not just outright banning cryptocurrencies. That would be the worst thing, I think. Nevertheless, XRP Crypto Wolf, thank you so much for posting that. We got Michael here on Twitter at Val5Links. And another country here, despite the lack of demand as of yet, the Bank of Korea has set up a legal advisory group to review any legal issues before possibly launching a central bank digital currency. According to a local report from today, South Korea's central bank has established a group consisting of a 6-member panel. Among those are law professors and legal practitioners, including lawyers and the Bank of Korea's Legal Policy Office. They will provide consultations regarding digital currencies issued and governed by the central bank. The panel starts operating today and it will continue at least until the end of May 2021. The bank has clarified we established the advisory group to discuss legal issues surrounding a CBDC and figure out which laws need to be revised or enacted for smooth progress in the Bank of Korea's possible issuance of digital currencies. So the report also outlined the necessity, for example, for the bank to enhance the research and development processes for CBDCs, and also the fact that digital innovation is a crucial task private lenders as well as central banks should embrace amid the rise of contactless payments. So contactless payments, this is becoming or rather, this is getting on the radar of more and more central banks. Of course, we were talking about it before, but now more than ever because of the beer flu pandemic. Around the world, this has become, I'm sure, a more pressing issue for countries to be able to continue to conduct business, to allow their citizens to be able to have a method to do this. And it's great that Ripple, already looking to bank the unbanked even before all this was happening. So they already have the tools. It's just a matter of the implementation at this point. We've also got XRP Yoda here on Twitter, and he posted this Twitter thread calling out Brad Garlinghouse, Ashish Burla, Nick Bougalis, and Joel Katz. If the XRPL is public, I think banks will not use it. Reason why is that Bank A would not want Bank B to see its volume for that year's or quarter 1 to 4's transactions. Do you see this being a problem? Is it a concern? And so this is a double-edged sword, right? With transparency, the fact that everybody can see the ledger. There's also this question of why would banks want their competition to see what they're doing behind closed doors? And it makes sense. It totally makes sense. Andy SPQR here on Twitter says, I remember Katz mentioning that each bank holds a private ledger. This then interacts with the XRPL. I'm unsure if that would overcome this issue, though. XRP, the Holy Grail, says it's an issue that was brought to Ripple's attention a few years back, which I believe they have navigated around by encryption. Otherwise, China and America would never touch it. So, Silver Surfer not buying it. I guess blockchain isn't about honesty after all. XRP_Greece mentions there could be ways for Ripple to obfuscate transactions from the XRPL while being compliant with KYC/AML laws. Random destination tags for each transaction is one way I could think of, with some form of an encrypted memo attached for each KYC/AML. And then Coin.blog responds, I think the transactions between banks are filtered by the exchange wallets. Maybe that isn't a concern. Correct me if I'm wrong. So a few methods of doing this. And of course, I'm sure Ripple has thought of this. If they want banks to ultimately be their clients, they most definitely have come up with a solution in order to mask certain clients' identities. The blinded tags, of course, as we heard recently, could be one of those options, but I do believe that there probably is a more sophisticated option for these huge international mega clients, I guess I'll call them. Nevertheless, thanks so much, XRP Yoda, for bringing this up. We got to look at this from all angles, right? Because there are Ripple detractors, XRP haters out there, and if it's not a perfect system, we have to address that, and we have to be confident with our XRP position. We have to be confident. We have to feel confident that this will reach mass adoption as the years go on. And the best way to do that is to keep questioning. Don't be blind to this, guys. If you do not believe in XRP, well, that's your prerogative. You have every opportunity to sell your XRP if you want. But then there are people who ask the hard questions, do the research and find the solution for potential problems that could be looming in the space. And it's great. And this is why, right? This is why I have so much confidence in XRP, because I do this research every day. I'm looking at these tweets, looking at these articles, and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. There was another tweet here that got a few people a little worried yesterday. This was originally posted by Michael at Val5Links on Twitter, with David Schwartz explaining that fiat-to-fiat transactions powered by the ODL product can work with no XRP infrastructure at all. And the way it was kind of framed was a bit fuddy, but David Schwartz did indeed comment on this Twitter thread. And first of all, it's great that he's such an amenable guy that he's willing to actually come on Twitter and explain this to us. He doesn't owe us anything, really. But here's how he clarified his statement. This is what he said. Correct. By first, I meant before we implemented ODL. So Xcurrent using, not using XRP, but just to get the banks onto the RippleNet infrastructure. Before ODL, we built what we used to call Xcurrent. It did fiat-to-fiat payments and didn't require any XRP infrastructure. And so this goes back to the comment I made yesterday, and yes, I'm bringing it up yet again. That video that I did back in the summer of 2018, maybe I'll post it up here in the right-hand corner if you guys are interested. The fact is, Ripple wanted to get banks and financial institutions hooked first, so they introduced the Xcurrent product. It didn't use XRP, and the reason it didn't use XRP is because at that time, there was no regulatory clarity at all. But Ripple didn't have a reputation with these banks at that time, so they needed to build that reputation. Once they built the reputation with banks, the whole idea was, Once cryptocurrency regulatory clarity came to pass globally, then that's when we would hook customers on ODL because they were already hooked. So it was kind of like a drug dealer introducing you to the gateway drug of marijuana, for example, and then getting you on cocaine later on. Once you're hooked, how can you go back? That was the philosophy. It was kind of a bit of a dark analogy maybe, but that is essentially what Ripple has done, or at least what Ripple is trying to do. Get them hooked on the technology, then once cryptocurrency regulatory clarity comes to pass, get them all on ODL. So David Schwartz posts down here, I hope people find XRP useful as a payment asset and as a bridge asset. I hope people find XRPL useful as a means of transferring XRP quickly, cheaply, and with censorship resistance, as well as the decentralized exchange, account management, and social credit features. Hope doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, though. This is what some people are saying, okay? I mean, we can hope all we want. I saw a comment on Twitter with somebody saying that, I forget who it was now, but some person saying, well, you know, hope is one thing, but reality is another thing, and what's, you know, how is it really going to happen, essentially? Well, let me bring this up next. If you do not think it's going to happen, this from Peter Pumpkin Eater on Twitter. Yes, I'll have some is his Twitter handle, and this is Brad Garlinghouse, okay, guys, from a Fox Business Report, and this was only from back in October 2019, so only a few months ago now. Here, take a listen.
Any digital asset is going to derive from its utility. And I do, as you described, I don't try to think about this on a 3-day, 3-week, or 3 months. I think over the long term. Look, I think it's lagged maybe because, in part, the U.S. government has provided clarity about Bitcoin. They've provided clarity about Ether, but then they've remained silent about the third, most valued digital asset in XRP. I think regulators have a hard problem. These are new technologies, and I think there's work to be done there, but I think globally it's been more positive, right? The UK government has been clear around their designation that XRP is not a security, more of a utility token. The Japanese government has been clear, the Singaporean government. So, look, I think the macro trend line is very positive here, but I do think that the US can continue to spend time on this and provide leadership around.
So there you have it. Brad Garlinghouse even saying at the beginning that, cryptocurrency will derive value from the utility that it serves. And when talking about the regulatory clarity around Bitcoin and Ethereum, that is clear, and XRP still doesn't have that regulatory clarity. And, governments have a hard job. With these types of tokens, this is all new territory for them. They need to get it right. And once they get it right, his thought is that XRP will be widely used, and therefore more demand will essentially increase the price of XRP. Even though he doesn't say that, that to me is where he's going with this. Okay, so it's their hope. It is their hope that XRP will be used. But we're still at the mercy of governments, okay? This isn't a slam dunk yet, guys. The positive news, we know Ripple has been cozy with governments, with the World Bank, with the IMF, central banks of the world, lots of big corporations around the world as well. We know that Brad Garlinghouse has sit in on meetings, very, very important meetings with regards to world economic policy. So these are all positive steps. They're doing the right thing. They're playing by the rules. They're not doing what Facebook is doing and just kind of going out there and doing what they want and apologizing later. Okay? Ripple is set up to succeed. And I know we keep saying it, but it's only a matter of time before it happens. Also, guys, there's this from Leonidas. Media giant uses Coil for web monetization. This is the biggest piece of news with regards to Ripple and XRP that's out today. Media titan with over 144 million readers tests Ripple-backed Coil for web monetization. So this is Condé Nast, which attracts more than 144 million readers and 435 million monthly visitors. And guess what they're testing, guys? Ripple-backed Coil in an effort to monetize its web content. And this was found by Eric Dadoun, who called out Condé Nast's tech publication Wired for enabling the online payments platform Coil. It allows users to stream real-time crypto. We know what Coil does. And so here was the tweet. What he actually did was, and this is great research, he actually went into the code for the website and saw monetization with the Coil code in there, the spsp.coil.com/donate, whatever this code stuff is on the Wired website. And so great sleuthing work. Matt Hamilton also here with Vogue. We can see it on the Vogue. So also a Condé Nast company, Vogue magazine, web monetization through Coil. and they're doing it. They're monetizing through Coil. At least they are testing it as of now. Some of the other publications down here, Ripple community members, were quick to pick up on the development and discovered that most of the media companies' brands in the US have enabled Coil. So they include the New Yorker, Vanity Fair, Teen Vogue, GQ, Allure, Condé Nast Traveler, Architectural Digest, and Bon Appetit. And the XRP Arcade also found that even more of their publications were being tested, including Epicurious. Did I mention Glamour? Epicurious, Glamour, Self Pitchfork, GQ Style, and Them Magazine as well. So their whole entire, or rather, I don't know how many publications they have, but it seems like they are testing it on quite a few of their publications. Coil co-creator Niels confirmed that the media giant is testing the platform on their websites. They are doing a limited test, so probably no access to subscriber-only content yet. As a decentralized web content monetization platform, Coil is designed to offer online publishers more control over their work as it allows fans to reward content creators in both crypto and fiat currencies. So amazing development there, guys. This is mainstream adoption. Okay, I know they're just testing it right now, but this, if this goes well, this is mainstream adoption. This is where we want to see the XRP ecosystem go. So it looks as though maybe not Ripple, but through the Spring Initiative, indirectly, the XRP ecosystem is seeing more verticals now. We know Ripple laser focused on cross-border remittance payments, but the ecosystem is so broad. This is why Spring exists. This is why we need more people in the space developing on the XRPL for mass wide world adoption, because guys, when there is more demand for XRP, that's what's going to get the price to 3, possibly 4 digits one day. Anyways, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.